to set the stage for harvesting, acceleration, actualization in January of 2021. And we look back at this year of all the things that have been created. What's present for you, Fernando?
I'm glad you're in this energy because I was like planning to be very calm today, but it certainly would have been very incongruent. So I was jamming out to Kid Rock. I actually know that song, FYI, loving that video. And what's uncomprehendable is that it's actually been a year. You know, when you're in zone action, it's just been incredible. I was on the phone on a strategy session yesterday, and when high-level producers like everyone on this call is in zone action and you're doing 20-hour days, it just doesn't feel that way. Unless, you know, after you've done it for 6 months, maybe crashing on the beach sounds fun, but it's incredible, the depth of innovation, the real raw, you know, our master program, elite, LBI, the immersion. It is just incredible the speed of what we've done and created. And now we get to do it all over again. So I'm looking forward to 2021.
Yeah. And with all of you, because we didn't have you. When this year started, it was Adam, Fernando, a couple other fine folks, Nicole, a few others. And now we have this world. We have 50 times the amount of committed people, 50 times the amount of committed people who understand that there's a formula and that influence is a superpower, and we're ready. And the foundational components as we get ready to roll into 2021 are seated in this micro distinction. Whatever you have heard, whatever you think you know, if you're not actualizing, you don't know it yet, but you're close. You're close, and it's time to break through. It's time to like hit these levers we're going to talk about this morning to end this year, to flag in the ground and get ready to go. So we have a couple of fine folks that are going to be with us today. First, do we have, let's get the sales sorceress unmuted. Let's get Santi unmuted, and I'll give it a 3, 2, 1 for that. AG, as we're getting those folks ready to roll, quick 10 seconds. What's present for you?
Imagine what can happen in, 2, 3, 4, 5 years if this much could happen in just 1 year. I mean, it is just fascinating. And
it keeps compounding. And if you have never had exponential growth in your life, I've been the beneficiary of it. I went from broke, $100,000 debt on my credit card. It's not a story. It was my life. I was scared every day, every single day. So all of a sudden I was sitting in my beach house, holding my son, and tears pouring down my face. I'm like, how did this happen? How did this happen? Having the ability to go to Grand Cayman and take 3 weeks off. I could have taken 6 weeks. I'm like, how did this happen? Sitting there on the beach in front of the Aqua Bay Club, meeting Whitey in the coral reef. It was extraordinary. I'm like, this is impossible. And I remembered reading Awaken the Giant Within, as Tony Robbins talked about, how all of a sudden he was like in his helicopter trying to get to his event and felt late. And then he's like, oh my God, there must be a concert or a sporting event or something. And he realized that the crowd was there for his event. He's like, how did this become my life? As he flew over dolphins in the ocean. And like that ability to go from, as Bruce Springsteen would say, there I was one day, just a normal guy. And there I was, goddamn, the next day, still just a normal guy. Like there's not this change of our being. There's the change of our results. There's the change of our results. And that's where we are as we move into 2021. This is time to harvest, time to actualize. And let's hit this today and tonight, because we are going to do the Thursday, 8 p.m. It is New Year's Eve. Understand if you're not there, but this is the way that I want to rock in the new year, is with my Unblinded family. Love you guys to no end. And it'll be there for you in recording, but the energy will be electric again tonight. And what is New Year's? It's whatever you want it to be. For me, it is the ability to like ground, refocus, and come out explosively into 2021. I'm not looking to rest. I'm looking to accelerate. I'm looking for the next foothold to rise to the base camp. That's what's present for me. Whatever's present for you, that's for you. But if that's what you want, that's what is here at Unblinded for you. So Bella Verita, what's up?
Good morning.
How are you? Are you
I'm extraordinary.
Kid rocking and ready to go?
I was all fired up this morning.
Yes, and I see Matt Getz did an incredible job. That's a preliminary video that's going out to some incredible people later today for our ecosystem merging and acceleration. But I do see, well, I don't see because I can only hear because I can't see all the cuts, but I hear that your moment of thinking it would be fun to tackle a Dallas Cowboy made the fun energy cut of the video.
It did make the fun energy cut of the video.
It is amazing. So we're going to rock and roll. Let's get ready to jump into slides.
Okay.
let's bring Nicole Maiello up live as well, because I want Nicole to jump into some of these slides as well. And also, Santi, are you out there, brother?
I'm out here. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. Good morning. So we had an awesome session yesterday. What became present for me was your rising starness in this movement. And it was rooted in the simplicity, the focus, the energy. So, brother, you know, you've been here for, you know, a couple months max.
Yeah.
And what is present for you about what you're seeing, what you're doing? Like, just give us what you're seeing, what you're present to, and what your process is.
As you said, we had a great call yesterday, and it's really been through the calls that have been going on Tuesdays and Thursdays with the micro distinctions, and really taking zone action and seeing where I could see myself in the first quarter through zone action in practicing the 7 levers and focusing on my mastery at each level in each day.
Awesome. And so, and you've been talking to people, inviting them on your quote show. So talk to us about how that's been going and what you've been sharing and the simplicity that you're finding.
So I've been just going out to people and saying, hey, you know, I looked you up. You seem to be a great real estate agent, a great CPA. I would like to have you as a guest on my show, sending out text messages, voicemails, and then telling them a little bit about the show, and then inviting them. Had my first Real Raw yesterday. You know, I've spoken on stages before. It was a little nerve-wracking at first. I had 3 cancellations right before going on. So what I will say to everyone is we booked 7, 3 cancellations. You want 10, book 14.
Yeah. Love that. Book 14. And then also lock in, like, I can count on you to be there, but for an emergency, like after the fact. But so what is your congruence and your vision for 2021, Santi?
Right now, I booked 8 Real Raws every Wednesday. Me and Michael Benson are co-hosting. We started our speaking engagement, Drop the Mic Live. That will follow up after the Real Raw. On every Real Raw, we're letting people know, hey, you are invited to come to Why Unblinded, Why the Real Raw on Mondays, and then you're welcome to our weekly calls. And those are the first 2. And then I've also partnered with Jay Levine and George and Keith Day on a speaking engagement with them. So really strategizing on getting out to the masses and being on the speaking platforms, because one-on-one isn't working.
Yeah. And how are you leveraging the HUI of Unblinded, my heroic unique identity? Like, how are you leveraging that in your conversation?
So when I go out to people, I say, listen, I partnered with Sean Callagy, and he's given me this opportunity, had this stage and had this microphone with the Real Raw open, and created it, going to some of the unique heroics you have. You know, Tony Robbins stage, we're just on Necker Island, and people are wowed by just the conversation and want to know more. And Michael gave me a great idea in sending the video on the Real Raw. That way they could see it through text. Everybody's on their phone, than having to go through the imagery through, let's say, a desktop. So that has been working fantastic for me. Like I said, the first Real Raw, we booked probably about 10 people already for the next Real Raw on the 6th, and now looking to book up for the 13th. First speaking engagement will be on the 7th.
Awesome, brother. And just the congruence with which you're communicating about it and the leveraging of, you know, yesterday we were reviewing the talent code, and it talked about what we would call scotoma. They called the HSE, the holy shit effect. I'm quoting the book and saying that, and it's creating that like awe, disbelief. And when you look at the book Contagious, awe, the ability to create awe is the dynamic that creates pull and scotoma. It's like, whoa, disbelief, like what's happening there? And so it's that awe effect. And Dr. Vin, I love you out there. I love you so much. Rewatch that video. Is going to be done, cut, and out for everybody. The way you like say whatever you say in that voice, it's like, should people come to LBI? It's like, are you kidding me? That's how you should be communicating, or can be communicating. I won't give anybody a should. As you rip things open with people, it's like that energetic transference of fun energy, of like disbelief, like, why wouldn't you want to come on? So, quick conversation around it for your speaking engagement, for a meeting with you. It's like, why would you want to meet with me? Why wouldn't you want to talk to me? Like what? Like fun energy, disbelief, shattering pattern. If you step into their frame and you appear nervous about anything, a sale, an agreement, we're going to drop into that right now. People are going to be looking at you and feeling like, well, if you're nervous, then I'm going to be nervous because your nervousness is telling me that I should be nervous about talking to you. So Santi, can you stay with us for a few minutes?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Bella, you ready to rock and roll?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Tink, are you out there? Tink is lost in space.
Of course I'm here.
Excellent. Are you drinking?
He's never not here.
You drinking shots?
She works just as hard as you do. If you're here, she's here.
Yes. Okay, so let's go slides. So, right, we're picking up the sales slides, team, right?
Yep.
So, Tink, what do we got on this slide?
I'm hopping on by computer now. I'm on by phone. Hold on.
Okay, good. Bella, what do we have on this slide?
So number one, what are your sales numbers?
Okay. So we talked about, no, we're going to go to sales meetings, guys. The slide right
Okay, yeah,
before.
so this just says sales.
Yeah, team, right before this, we're going to go to slide on sales meetings, right? Because we've covered so far ecosystem merging this week. We covered speaking engagements, real raw, and the micro distinctions and questions around numbers, micro distinctions about what it means to have an actual ecosystem merger. So do we have the slide up yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So it says sales.
All right. So let's go a little bit. Just tell me when it comes up. Okay.
Yep.
So in terms of speaking engagements, we talked about calls to action generating our sales meetings. So what is your simple call to action and how do you deliver it? Words are 7% of your communication. Acknowledgements, energetic transference, the opening of listening through disruption, feel the energy that I'm coming to the call with this morning. This energy is what creates the opening of listening. And then it's variance and slowing down so people aren't completely overwhelmed. And the opening of listening for people out there. Okay. So team Unblinded, we don't have sales meetings up there yet?
We do not have a sales meeting slide.
Yeah, no,
So we
they
have
do
the
not.
just the sales one.
Okay, we are missing the slide. Okay, so we'll combine sales meetings and sales then. So in our sales meetings, and for you, the question is, how many sales meetings do you want to create a week? As I go through one-on-one sessions continuously, I am noting that people have less than number of complementary or sales meetings that they want to have. What is a sales meeting? A sales meeting is a situation where the other person knows that they're sitting down to say yes or no to buy your services. Like they're clear, it's set up, right? And they know this is happening. So Rob Gill talks about hundreds of sales meetings. He's speaking into a dynamic where people are sitting down, understanding that they're going through their financial stuff or conversation around insurance, and that they're going to be having the opportunity to say yes or no. And even if it's a no, it's not a permanent no, because most sales, write this down, most sales move forward after the 6th no. Write that down. Deepak is shaking his head up and down and smiling. Most sales move forward after the 6th no. Now that's different than hearing you need 17 exposures in marketing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about asks and no's. And so objection handling, right, is rooted in asking questions. We're not going to go into this in depth here today. We're running through these slides. We're going to tie stuff together finally tonight as we complete our overall overview. But if you're not having sales meetings, and this is why I went a little bit fun energy with Ruth the other day, disruptively, of like, what are you doing? Because your sales meetings come from your speaking engagements. That's where they come from. And your speaking engagement could be one-by-one reach outs on LinkedIn. That could be a speaking engagement. It could be a text message, could be a phone call. Those could be your speaking engagements. Those are attempts to set up sales meetings. All we're saying is it's way better to leverage those in group and then with follow-up phone call, because the process and progression of what Rob Gill had to go through to get to a sales meeting with me is not what you want to go through. You just don't want to go through that. And had I seen Rob speak on stage with the 2-time Super Bowl winning NFL football player Rob was working with at the time, I'd be like, dude, I want to talk to this guy. It's super cool. He's with a 2-time Super Bowl winner. This is awesome. I want to talk to this guy. Versus some guy I thought was chasing me to sell me financial stuff and insurance. And I liked Rob. I appreciated Rob. But I was not particularly interested and excited to meet with Rob. Soon as I saw something congruently unique about him, when I finally got to his office after 300 touches, and I finally said yes, just out of sheer persistence. And I sat there, and there's some dude from, who played for the Giants and won 2 Super Bowls and was talking on TV. I'm like, there's something going on here. And so that's all that's happening when you're in your speaking engagement. It's all that's happening when you're in your real raw. It's like, there's something going on here. This is fun. This is new. This is exciting. I love this energy. I'm drawn. That's all we're looking to create. Santi, you get that. Do you not, my friend?
I definitely get that. Hugely.
Yeah. And why do you think you've been an incredible salesperson your whole life? And why do you think that works? What do people want? What draws people, in your opinion?
It's the human-based influence that draws people. And that's why they're coming. Just after my first Real Raw, I already had 1 sales meeting set up just from there. The exposure to be seen on a stage, it's tremendous.
Awesome. Love it. Okay. So how many sales meetings are you committed to having every week in January? How many sales meetings are you committed to having every week in January? And you're
400.
Like, yeah. So Santi, how many are you committed to having every week in January? Because by the way, they don't just come from your Real Raw. They don't just come from your speaking. You get block time to also be asking for referrals, texting and following up. But how many sales meetings a week are you committed to creating in January, Santi?
I have a team of 4, so 400 per week we need to be doing. Per week. 400 sales meetings.
Wow.
400 per week, 4 guys, it's 100 each.
You're a straight up gangster. And that number, you're committed to growing tremendously throughout the entire year. Is that fair?
Absolutely. I'm going to be adding on to my team. This is the first year. I've been an owner operator since 2000 in the crash. I was so much in scarcity that I didn't want to grow. This year, I've already grew. I have 3 people on my team now and looking to add another 3 people on in the first quarter.
Yeah. And we're talking about, Santi, you want to be meeting with realtors, correct?
Realtors, financial planners, accountants, organizations who deal with people who are renting.
Amazing. So let's go, brother. Let's go. And a friend of mine, Val Schultz, who owns Anchor, he came to the event in January and gave some of the most interesting feedback imaginable. Loved it. He was in my original coaching program in 0456. He owns Anchor Associates in New York. And I'm not sure if this is a good or an okay connect, a solid, very solid connect. They have, I don't know, 50 to 100 rental agents in New York, and he knows a lot of people. So that might be a good person for you to meet and have some of their team on your Real Raw.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Awesome, brother. Okay. So, Tink, are you on your computer yet?
I am.
Oh, you sound like you had the voice from Mount Olympus. What's the next slide? Or what's the next question? So how many sales meetings? What's the next question, Nicole?
We still have the one where it says, what are your sales numbers? What is your flag in the ground? What will they be? And where is your pricing? And are you undervaluing yourself?
Okay. So where will your sales numbers be then in 2021? Santi, do you feel comfortable saying what your sales numbers will be, or at least how you're going to grow them? Like by what percentage or what multiple?
So if we're batting 100 per person, we should see at least a 5 to 10% sales, and then closing rate will then be calculated from there. So it's really, like you said, a numbers game, and that's where I'm looking at 10 calls per day for each person. We'll get 1 to 2 sales per day. 1 to 2 sales will turn into, if it's 5 per week, probably 2 closings for the month. So that's why I said as of March 1st, what I've just accomplished and done, I will be able to come back with feedback to the whole group and say, here's what I was able to accomplish. from December 30th until February 28th.
Awesome, brother. So what's the number then of sales that you're committed to having in January, February?
We're looking at 40 closed loans in January, move that number up to 45 each month for by a number of 5. My commitment is 10 closings per month per person.
Awesome. All right, let's go, Santi. Bella, by what numbers are you committed to growing and raising your numbers at Align in 2021?
So we're committed to 10 placements a month.
Okay. 10 placements, like that's what you're committed to in January, correct?
Yeah.
And that's what you're committed to in December?
This, like, you mean the end of this month?
No, like December 2021.
So, like the overall goal, it would be 150 placements for the year. So it breaks down to 10 a month.
And that's your number for 2021?
Correct.
Are you in the Unblinded program with Sean Callagy as your coach?
I am.
That is some punk AB numbers. Like, are you kidding? You think you're only going to do 10 placements in the month of December of 2021, Bella and Verita? That's what you're thinking?
Yes, because I don't have my system, I guess, yet to duplicate Bella. So that is.
Come on now.
Okay. So put this flag in the ground.
I gotta go to the bathroom again.
Yes.
I see a Dallas Cowboy. I gotta go run.
Yes. So that number should be nothing less than 50 placements next December. Write that number down. 50. And I think that's a low number. 50 placements, 50 next December. And that number, I think, will be a joke to hit. We're going to start talking numbers. We're going to start confronting. This is going to be a place of peak performance all over the place. Here's my flag in the ground. We are doubling Callagy Law revenue in 2021. Doubling as a side hustle, and I'm going to spend 3 hours a week doing it. That's my flag in the ground there. We are 10xing, Adam and Frando, 10x, not like Grant Cardone, like 10x, our 10 times the revenue from Unblinded for 2020 is what we're going to do in 2021. We are going to have 10 coaches at a minimum, 10 coaches who are making 6 figures plus working with Unblinded at a minimum. That is, and that's like, I would hang up my, I don't know what my right thing. I'll hang up my surfboard if that's not what's happening. Absolutely.
Oh, that's a lot at stake.
Yes, there is a lot at stake. Hang it up. So what are you putting? Put in the chat. Put in the chat right now. What are you putting a flag in the ground on that you're going to create? I'm committed to getting up at 4 a.m. every day in January so I can get to editing of the stuff. I got to get to the editing of the stuff of. And we are going to create the most insane internal processes imaginable. No ideas, no tinkering, execution. It is time, everybody out there, it is time to stop tinkering. Write this down. Like, you know, Ghostbusters is a circle and a line through, like the Ghostbusters, right? Or ghosts, whatever the circle and the line is. I don't even know. What is the circle and the line through in Ghostbusters? It's a circle and a line through something, whatever it is. Our circle and a line is going through tinkering, ideas, tinkering, and ideas. And fake confusion is done. It is numbers, acceleration, like fire, and go forward. It is no longer visioning. It is no longer imagining. It is no longer learning through talking. It is massive, accelerated, non-stop action all through 2021. So we can celebrate and we can hug each other and cry and say, we did it. I didn't think we could. We did it. I didn't believe it was possible. We did it. I finally did it. Like, the breakthrough is there monetarily. Let's jump to the next slide. What do we got?
You want to read it?
Go ahead, Bella.
It's Influence Mastery, the 18.
Okay. So your influence mastery 18. The way you're going to learn this, we said it the other day, is through ECD time and writing down the 18. It's 1 through 4, 1 through 10, 1 through 4 in your journal, whether it's on a computer, whether it's in a hardbound journal. You're not writing the words. You're writing down 1 through 4, 1 through 10, 1 through 4. That's what you're writing down. 1 through 4, 1 through 10, 1 through 4. That's the entire deal. That's what's coming. That's what's being written down. That's what's happening for you to accelerate. We were in micro distinctions this morning on the call with the team, and the call with the team was the internal Unblinded team was rooted in the micro distinctions of energetic transference. The absence of your energetic transference is the difference between yes and no. It's the difference between everything and nothing. Like, remember the stories of Greg DiPietro, who was on the Real Raw the other day and is coming back into the Unblinded world as incredible a person, calling humans he's never spoken to before as I've ever seen. Like, Adam Gugino is the man. And then like Adam Gugino is like, you know, the Tony Robbins of that world, right? And then Greg is like, yeah, I'll go with the Sean Callagy of that world. Like right there, right below, right? Greg is mind numbing because his understanding of scotoma creation, energetic transference is great. And then you may go, well, I need to talk to Greg. No, you don't. You need to get on the phones, talk to people. You need to fail. You need to fail more, fail again, fail better, fail again, fail better, fail again, fail better, fail again, fail better. That's what it looks like. Because we burnt that fear of rejection and fear of failure in the fire. There is none. It is action, action. It is like zero resistance. Like, we've reframed the entire world of speaking to humans. Love them. Love everybody. It's fun to connect and talk to people. It's fun to have your energy inspire other people, to give from your heart, your soul, your being to others, to be on fire, to be completely certain. And when people get in your way, when people misportray you, when people object and have fake confusion, when people say something negative about you, to fire and power through it like you're a competitor, a warrior. The book, The Talent Code, talks about the critical importance of talent hotbeds, of being hotbeds of competition, of fire, like to conspire together, to internalize nothing, to be an effing warrior. It's not man stuff. Brittany, who owns her own island, 33 years old, has amazing feminine energy, has a shirt that says warrior. That's the shirt that she said on the morning after the opening of her island, warrior, across her chest, warrior, warrior energy, right? Zeus energy in the face of challenge, in the face of anything. It's from that place of certainty that we ask questions in the face of objections, that we rise in our mastery. We create the things that we're creating in the world. We stand for our heroic, unique identity. We cause other people to rise in theirs. That's what's at stake as we roll into 2021. That's what's at stake. It is time. The game begins. We've waited for this. We prepared for this. The game begins at the highest level. Well, I was playing the game. I guarantee you were not. Not this game. Not this game. It is time to harvest. It is time to win. It is time to come flying out of the tunnel onto the field, smoke flying, people cheering. Let the cold cowardly sit in the stands and critique you. Get onto the field of battle. Get onto the field of putting yourself out there. Whether that's a 4-year-old child who gets up in front of a room full of people and performs, that child is on the field of battle. They're putting themselves at stake. Put yourself at stake every day, every minute at 2021. Because if you don't put yourself at stake, what is at stake will be taken from you are your dreams. And then you will sit on a couch with everybody else complaining about the world and what's not possible and that it isn't fair and I can't and nothing works. And I will tell you this in love, you will be lying to yourself. You'll be lying to yourself. And I don't judge you for it and I love you for it, but it's the truth. You'll be lying to yourself. And that's what Coach Ennis said to me in 1987, standing in front of his desk, when I said, well, Coach, no, I'm not going to go to this tryout camp with all these amazing players because I'm just a little bit sick of baseball. And I'm just going to focus on football. I'm going to lift. And I rationalized the behavior. I was just going to get ready for football. But the truth was, I was bitter and resentful because I had been politically screwed in all league and all county voting in a political bullshit thing that was crazy because I killed myself and crushed it my junior year. I was heartbroken, felt screwed over, and I was being a little bee sitting there complaining, whining inside, acting like I was doing something valiant and going to go get ready for football. And he confronted me. He said, I thought you were somebody, but I guess you're not who I thought you were. I guess you're not. I had tears start pouring down my face because the respect, the love I had and have for him. Somebody Bill Parcells called a mentor, drilling truth into my soul. I said, no, coach, I'm going to go. He said, don't do me any favors. Don't go now. Because if you're the person that wouldn't want to go in the first place, then you don't belong there. And more tears poured down my face. He was telling me the truth. I got my ass in that van, rode 14 hours with some of the most incredible young men that you could ever meet. A bunch of people Rob Gill knew, in fact. The best athletes from Northern New Jersey, people that would go on to play in the major leagues, go on to play in the NFL, be all pros, be all stars. And I got in that car, and there was nobody who was a better player at that week in Old Dominion than I was. I was recruited by 100 Division I schools, and those guys, a lot of those guys are better than I was, but they weren't better that week. They were not better that week. Like Herb Brooks said when they 1980 played the Soviets, they might be better than us every other night, but not tonight. And that week I went down there on fire. And you know what that tells me? It tells me that our self-mastery, our mindset determines our results. And if anybody in your life is taking away from your energy, your mindset, taking away from your energy and your mindset, love them unconditionally with boundaries. Boundaries of granite, steel, whatever is the structure, brick, to keep that energy away from you. You have work to do in a mission. If you have work to do in a mission, keep that away from you. On fire. Because our results can be 1,000 times what we would have perceived our skill sets to be. And it can happen in an instant. It's not tomorrow. It's not in 3 months. It's not when you finish watching the next module. It's today. It's now. It's every day in 2021. This is what's at stake. And I can't wait to have you on the Huddle every day and a Tuesday, Thursday night calls to talk about what you're doing and what you're creating. You were not created. You were not put upon this earth to settle into the standards of other people. That's not why you're here. You're here to be an example of possibility, to be a leader and leader of leaders. You're here to cause remarkable and incredible things. And I love you anyway if you don't want to. I love you. But I'm telling you, if you ever tell yourself you can't, you're lying to yourself. Decide not to, but don't lie to yourself. And God forbid you ever distract, delete, dilute, or distort somebody else from achieving their dreams and rocketing forward on their mission because you're lost. Your being lost should never cause somebody else to be lost. And you'll get unlost real quick if you get on the phone and talk to humans and you start improving your skill set, start producing dopamine, start accelerating, start making things happen. That's what's at stake. I'm going to pause here. We're going to finish this up tonight and launch into 2021. AG, what's present for you?
What is present for me is something Fernando has been alluding to, that I know there's been a lot of questions on calling people that you don't know. And you talked about, Greg, listen, unless you have 100 calls made, hold the questions. When you have made those 100 calls, and then we'll start playing.
Yeah. And rated yourself every day and you're 18. And then ask the questions. Take action. Get your ass in the game off the couch if you want your dreams at ways you never have before. And maybe your ass is off the couch and you're in the game, but you're playing at 3/4 speed. Play at 100%. Every mistake you make hard. Athletics 101. If you're going to make a mistake, make it at full speed and make it hard. If you're going to make a mistake, make it at full speed and make it hard. Make a mistake, make it at full speed, make it hard. Make it repetitively. Everyday review, accelerate forward. And all of a sudden, mastery will rise. Teach other people. Don't ask questions for other people. Teach them. I became insanely successful in law school because Pete Kozlowski, who went on to be the #1 person in our section, he and I created a sales process. We're both B college students, B students in college. We blew away law school because he and I created a way to rise in mastery. And how we did it is we taught each other and we didn't have fake confusion. We taught each other, we challenged each other nonstop to accelerate, not decelerate. We supported one another. And he and I fought for a month before exam studying began. Because like, we're not that smart. My girlfriend's a year ahead of us. She didn't do great in law school. She was like a straight A student in college. She got B's here. We're going to be lucky to get B's. I said, bullshit. I said, we're going to crush this, dude. We're going to crush this because we can. And our process will be better. And this is long before Tony Robbins. But I knew process mastery from athletics. I didn't have the words for it, but I knew modeling and process mastery from athletics. Tink, what's up for you? By the way, here's what you're letting go of. You're letting go of any degree of perfectionism. You're amazing. You work like a straight up gangster lunatic every day. I don't care if the slide wasn't perfect. I don't care if it wasn't ready. Every mistake we make hard and make it full speed. You work so hard, deliver so much, are so amazing. Just have complete certainty in your magic and amazingness in every minute. Amen, Tink?
But it had ones next to every number.
That's okay. That's okay. And if we ever unblind the team, throw up slides like that again, I'm going to decapitate people. I love you. Decapitate.
Sean, real quick, Sean, I'm inviting my mom. Tonight. All right. She's going to come on. I told her already. She's got to be dressed nice for tonight.
Let's go. Mama Gugino is in the house.
That's exciting.
Wait, is it your mom's last name is Gugino or no?
No, it's Rizzy, but it's all my.
No. What is it? How do I say it?
Rizzy.
Mama Rizzy is in the house. Mama Rizzy is in the house. There is like, Nicole's love for the Italian-American dynamic will be there. Could Mama Rizzy make some meatballs?
I think we're ordering out.
Could Mama Rizzy at least order some meatballs?
Yes.
It would be very inappropriate. I will have meatballs as well.
I will make sure that.
And the ziti.
We'll have Lancelotti family meatballs.
I will show the meatballs. I will show the meatballs we ordered tonight.
And no matter what, here's also, I'm going to have my mom on tonight. So I'm going to bring my mom on tonight, and I'm hopeful, and I'm going to cry that she's getting out of the hospital today. So amazing. I'm hopeful, and whether she wants to or not, and her hair is done or not, and her makeup is done or not, she's going to be there, and she's laying in bed, and whatever is going on, she's going to be on tonight.
And Sean, the first time I met your mom, the first thing I said to her after just 5 minutes of conversation, the person she reminded me of most in this entire world was my mom. So looking forward to them getting together tonight.
Amazing. All right, Bella Verita, are you going to be chasing Dallas Cowboys out in Texas tonight? Or are you going to be on the 8 o'clock?
I'm going to be on the 8 o'clock, and I will likely be at my dad's. So that'll be fun.
Oh my God. Could your dad come on?
He will likely come on.
That will be extraordinary. Fernando, are you going to be ready for tonight?
I'm going to be ready for tonight. My mom might as well be on the show. She'll have no idea what we're saying, but it'll be a great time and she'll feel welcome. So let's do it.
And who knows, we may have people from all over the world, all kinds of crazy people. Yes, all kinds of stuff. And just quick thought, because I have a potential special guest for later. Mona, how are you?
I am doing amazing. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, and so you are going to be ready and around for later?
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right, so excellent. So everybody, I am, now we didn't talk about being like encroaching my space though. There's like a lot of space encroachment going on right now. And that is like definitely was not part of the plan. Like, yes. So yeah. So space is being invaded, but that's okay. You know, that happens with Egyptian Canadians, I think is like a thing. So it's like the stage and the microphone.
I'll tell my subway station a little bit later, you guys.
Yes. So my space is being encroached, but thank you very much. No. Okay. So for tonight, Santi.
So one final.
Yeah, what do you got? Final.
So I'm seeing the chat blow up. Everyone is saying 100 calls per week. And what I want to say is keep it to 3 minutes on every call. That's 10 for everyone per day. Building your real raw or building your business.
Yeah. And this is it. And listen, everybody, this is for real. You know, I don't want any motivation, inspirational BS. Like I live rah-rah, and then I get on the field of battle and let that rah-rah energy flow through me on the field. Don't go rah-rah, motivated and inspired and sit in the stands. Don't go motivated and inspired, rah-rah, and sit in the stands. Get in the game. Put your helmet on, pick up your musical instrument, get on the debate floor if you're a debate champion like Craig, right? Whatever is your field, get that microphone where you're singing in your hand, whatever that field is where you're at stake. So I don't want any fake confusion. Well, I'm not an athlete. And I don't know. This is like very masculine. Yeah, really? Ask Siri Lindley, who's going to be in the group trainings today. Siri's joined the program, right? This is not about masculine. It's about fire and competition. It is about Zeus energy, but Zeus energy isn't masculine energy the way we describe it. It's certainty. It's competitive. And it's heart-centered and loving. And Siri is as heart-centered and loving as any human you ever want to meet, and she will kick your MFing-A on the field of battle. She will find the fire inside. I have never heard of a human being do more to their physical body until I read the work of David Goggins. I'm not saying he did or didn't, but I was like, okay, that's crazy. Up until then, Siri Lindley, the most insane thing she ever did, after she gave everything she had, she thought she was washing her food. She was working out, insane at the most insane levels, and didn't get her dream. And then she said, I'm going to restart. And she began working with some of the craziest coaches in the world who confronted her to no end. And when she was in the deepest depths of pain and said she couldn't, they gave her love. And the love they gave her was, I don't really care. Get back in the MF pool. Let's go. Run up the hill again or leave. And I'm not saying we're going to hit that level, but that's the fundamental underlying energy of confronting and loving and accelerating. That's what it looks like. And that's what it's about. That makes sense? Like that's where we are. So love you. Don't hear the absence of love, because sometimes we get in this fire mode. We think it's not love. It is love. It is the love that true coaches give to people. It's the love of Herb Brooks. And it's not just tough love. It's truthful love. Like what's at stake, what your capability is 100 times what you're doing. My capability is 100 times what I'm doing. You're working so hard. How could you work more? I could work better, smarter, more effectively, more masterfully, more optimally. I can make all those things happen. It is time. It is time. Ready to go. Fernando, final, brother.
Final. I'm thinking about many things. And Santi, super grateful to have you on here. And Michael Benson, thank you for honoring us with that relationship. And as I ponder, what Adam was alluding to is that deep practice must be present before innovation begins. So when it comes to, before we start innovating on the calls, let's make 100 of them. And as I think about everything Santi just said, oh, it's fun, it's simple, it's a show, I can hear, and I usually don't use negative contrast. I've heard people say everything Santi's doing doesn't work. So for everyone, the frame I'm looking to create, the only difference between what Santi's doing and what you're doing is that his certainty and self-mastery is present. That's the only difference. It's not the words, it's not the this, it's not the that. It could be all those things. The palpable difference is Santi's certainty and belief, and his belief makes it seem simple, but it's really the same thing.
And here's my flag in the ground. Here's my flag in the ground. Here's what I'm graduating from in 2020. I am no longer speaking into the fake confused. So you have heard, if you're fake confused, you've heard from me. You've heard my last words. I'm no longer reaching back. I'm no longer chasing the lost sheep, right? And there's very few left here, but I'm no longer chasing. Go create your own movement. This is 1% of the people listening, but I'm speaking to you. Either get with the program or go create your own movement and see you later. And if you can't teach this formula, you don't know it. And if you haven't done and doubled and scaled business and done the things that I've done, you have no idea what you're talking about. And stop getting in people's way. By the way, that's 1%. Those are my final words to those people. And confront. Ask people, what are your numbers? Somebody's going to tell you what to do. Ask them their current numbers. Ask them. I'll tell you mine. You want to go work with Tony Robbins? Go work with Tony Robbins because he could do things I haven't done. But I think he's $1 million a year. So if you got your million and you want to wait on your 3-year waiting list, you work with him. If not, very few people you could work with that have done the things I've done. Don't listen to people who are full of shit. Those are my final words on it. We're going forward to peak performance, acceleration. Here we go. And if you got somebody you could talk to that did what Adam Gugino did, built a $750 million team annually, $750 million, right? Then go talk to those people. But I think they're going to be hard to find. And I bet they're going to cost a lot more than we do. Congratulations. You got this on the cheap. Love you. Thank you for your belief and being in the beta. And I thanked you a million times. But you know what? I step into the reality of what this is worth. I got people telling me don't coach anybody for less than $250,000 a year. I got a lot of people telling me that. And that's not what I want to do. It's not how we were created. I want to build this. And that's how we built our partnerships. But in 2021, it's time. Fake confused, goodbye. We are speaking into those committed to mastery. As I said, don't ask a question. This is the edict. If somebody comes to you with a question, say, did you make 100 phone calls? Then what's your specific question? Don't question the process. It's ridiculous. Every single person who's ever built anything has built it through ecosystem merging, speaking, sales, meeting sales, period. That's how it got built. And maybe they built it through a funnel of some sort, and that was their ecosystem dynamic. But go bring those people to me. Bring them to me happily. Bring them on and show me their actual numbers, their real numbers and profitability. Because that shit is hard to do. And you think something's hard. It's like when I first started learning about card counting, it's a job and you get like a 2% advantage. Building a funnel, you have to measure and monitor that thing every single day, 4 times a day. Good luck outsourcing that to somebody else. Good luck outsourcing anything. Good luck. It is your being. Train, develop, scale, build. You get some outsourcing help, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy. You cannot relinquish your dreams. You cannot outsource your marketing and sales. You get some help to build something for sure. You can't outsource it. Every time I've ever outsourced anything and trusted somebody else to do it, it's been a disaster. It is your responsibility to manage your money, your marketing, your sales, your time, your dreams. You cannot outsource them. You go, well, I'm not really comfortable with, right? Well, get comfortable, because if you can't manage those people, you don't know what they're doing. And by the way, these words come from Tony Robbins, who spoke 200 days also, 200 days a year on the road and ended up $758,000 in debt after speaking 200 days on the road for a year because he was outsourcing his financial stuff. What made him the business genius he is, owning 80 companies, becoming close to a billionaire now, is he had to confront, and master all these areas, and then he could manage it and duplicate it. That's the road. That's the road. Love you. Goodbye, fake confusion. Hello, mastery. Hello, talent hotbed. Hello, the acceleration of everything. Let's hear it for those about to rock, because that's who I salute. AC/DC, for those about to rock, Chaz, because I salute you and every single person who's about ready to rock into 2021, and everybody else. I love you unconditionally. That small percentage. Love you unconditionally, but get the hell out of your own way and get out of the way of other people. It is time. Follow the program at its highest level and go make this happen. Your dreams are worth it. You are worth it. Stop being scared. Stop being fake confused. Final statement on it as we accelerate 2021. For those about to rock, we do salute you. Love you.